What is going on today, guys? Hope you guys are having a great, profitable, uh, overall just well-rounded Thursday. Today is May the 12th, and what a day it was, guys. What an absolutely crazy day. The volatility hasn't let up one bit. Just to break it down real fast, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, right at the open, tanked. Absolutely tanked. We saw lows and we saw all-time lows in a lot of large cap stocks. Um, I mean, it was just unprecedented. I mean, obviously the downtrends haven't let up, and they're going to continue to show their face. And the inflation is what's stimulating that, along with all the Fed news that's coming out. And I mean, what an opportunity to be short side! What an opportunity to be a bear! It's been a super lucrative time for if you're playing that side of the game. Um, I personally haven't shorted anything. I have played UVXY, obviously the bearish ETF, but if you're a short, guys, and you really know what you're doing, I mean, it's basically equivalent to the same as buying a stock. You're just basically betting that it's going to go down. And I mean, what a time it is to short. It's I mean, what a whirlwind today was. Stop losses hit. I mean, people panic selling. Obviously, shorts are in play and all that, but it did seem to me that there was a covering um, today. So maybe this can be the start of something good, back to the upside. Maybe we saw the lows that, maybe there's going to be some established bottom here. I'm hoping so, guys. I mean, I don't want to, give out false hope or anything like that, but I am projecting that maybe this is the start of an uptrend back to the over 400, at least for the SPY. I mean, it's nice to see we are green after hours. The market the market did rally. Obviously, I mean, like I said earlier, it was earlier this morning it was like 2-3 hours from open that the market was getting hammered to the downside, and then it just gradually made a jump back to the upside. So let's take a look at that real fast. Zooming in here, let me see. Let me make sure that this is the same day. Same day, right about here. Okay, here's the 12th, guys. And like I said, right off the open, bam, we had a dump to the downside, as you guys can see here. A ton of stocks hit all-time lows. A ton of stocks just were obviously hammered by this. Um, but as soon as it took this 386 level, bounced off of that, dropped back down, and took off again to the upside, and then crumbled back down, and then another move right back to the upside. So this is what worried me earlier, not too long ago. This level worried me because we did approach day lows here, and I honestly it the floor could have opened up. We could have gone below 380. I honestly had no idea. So it's relieving to see that this held this area, consolidated a bit, and now we are where we are after hours. So good sign, guys. And look, nice buying pressure into the close. We're at 391.50 right now, 391.90 now in after hours, and I mean it looks like it's holding a bit. So after hours trading can be a bit deceiving. There's a lot less volume, obviously, so it's very unpredictable what can happen next. But maybe this is the start of something good. Maybe we're gonna see a recovery bounce. That's what I'm hoping for. Tomorrow is Friday, and Fridays are known for sell-offs. So we got to keep that in mind. We got to be poised and prepared and ready for what is to come here. So but it is a good sign to see this into the close, guys. And UVXY, with as much red as it was today, what a disappointing move this was. I mean, if you're buying, UVXY, I mean, there is money to be made here. But considering how red the market was, and I mean has been for the past few days, weeks, months, whatever, UVXY just hasn't broken that $20 range. Last time it did, if I zoom out, last time it did was right here back in March. So, it was a couple months, not too long ago, but, taking into consideration how red the market is, I'm really kind of surprised this hasn't gone over 20. Um, as you guys can see, not super steep, but a pretty decent sell-off going into close because of market strength. Right now, post market at 1794. Um, looks like we have mixed signals. I don't know. I mean, there clearly is some buying pressure here. Jumping up from the close price. So, like I said, guys, it's such an unpredictable market right now, and it's so tough to determine what's going to happen. So, UVXY, just another one of those bearish ETFs, to keep on watch. And if you see the market getting hammered to the downside, what a great opportunity this is. So, but yeah, UVXY, very surprising how weak the price action has been lately. Moving on over to KOLD, been talking about this for quite some time, guys. As you guys have seen in my recent videos, the bearish ETF for natural gas still in that accumulation range. It's at 714 now in the post market. Today, not so much, too much going on. It did have a sell-off, I mean, as long as natural gas is rallying, you're going to see this dropping. Um, Still, guys, I still have my same sentiment and outlook on this play. $15 to $20 within the next couple months, or a little bit more. But I'm thinking within that time frame because natural gas, that there's so much tension with it. That's why there's been so much pressure to the downside with KOLD, and obviously Boyle, the bullish side, has been thriving in these conditions because there's so much pressure with natural gas. Not companies, countries need natural gas, and with the tensions happening with the major producer and exporter of it, Russia, it's been a whirlwind of price action here in KOLD. But in general, guys, it's still in that accumulation range. Anything under $10 is an accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. That's really all I have to say because we are still here. We are still here in the under the $10 range, and it for me it's time to just accumulate and hold and not stress too much. There's been a lot of stress going on in the market. We're all we're human, obviously, and to see the market getting as brutalized as it has been is tough to see. And I mean, um, I'm pretty damn confident though in KOLD overall. Taking a look at how inflated natural gas is right now due to the demand, obviously, and then the supply concerns. I mean, those are the two key things we have to keep an eye on. Demand high, supply low. KOLD is going to go down. Boyle is going to go up. So once the demand, like I've been talking about, tapers off, we're going to see a nice move in KOLD. So keep it on watch, guys. Moving on over to drip, like I talked about yesterday. Drip is the oil. It's based purely off oil movement to the bearish side. Um, as you guys can see, pretty solid uptrend today. Not too shabby. There was some news regarding oil that made it go weak, but my sentiment still hasn't changed on oil. I still see a rally coming, so drip should be seeing a downtrend. But in all honesty, I could be wrong. Oil could fall through the floor, but I really don't see that happening. There's so much pressure, and there was some news articles I read on OPEC. Um, they are the determinant of a lot of demand, or the production of barrels and whatnot. And there was something that mentioned a cut in barrel production, if I'm not mistaken. So with us, oil is not going to go anywhere. That commodity is used in so many different areas of industry, everything, transportation. So if there's any significant news on the supply output, right, this can really impact the price drastically. So but also, if there's solid supply and whatnot, obviously oil is going to be going down in price, which will send drip higher. But um, with anything that has to do with supply concerns, anything that has to do with limited demand, which isn't drying up. The demand is not drying up. People need transportation. It's just that that's is not going to go anywhere. So if you have a little bit of a longer term mindset and a swing, right? Like I've talked about a lot of oil plays, IMPP, Tellurian, TELL. I've talked about there's quite a few other names. Camber Energy is another one, but these are a lot of names that will thrive, in conditions like that. And like I said, 2 months ago in mid March, that's when the last oil rally was. So make sure you keep an eye on drip, keep an eye on Gush. These are the ETFs that really can give you a good idea on the direction oil is heading. Hopping on into RIVN. And let me just start by saying, guys, it's really nice to see some pressure to the upside. As beat down and brutalized as this was, I'm glad to see some movement to the upside. Drop down to almost $19. And I've been mentioning Rivian as being a buy since 35, since I believe 35 or $40, and then $30 range. I was talking about this being a buy, but obviously the market had other plans, and quite frankly, that is just how it works in the market. So taking a look at earnings, guys, not very good in talking about revenue. I mean, look at this, almost a 30% miss on revenue. Um, earnings not bad, right around the estimate, but revenue, that you see that's a tough number to look at and a pill to swallow. But guys, the market doesn't really matter, right? In terms of the volatile nature of the market, you could get bad earnings and see a stock sky like this just did. So obviously, earnings per share was a beat, but the revenue was a pretty significant miss, as you guys can see, 30%. And look what happened. So obviously, it's a nice thing to see. Would I personally have bought in this area, knowing what this earnings was? Probably not. But when you take a look and you get a confirmation to a bullish uptrend, right? You zoom in, you look at the minute candles, and you see a volume momentum pour in. Then there's obviously opportunities there, right? You have the indicators and whatnot in your chart. There's opportunity there to buy, but it's a slippery slope, guys, because as easy as this went up, it could have gone down to $15. There's no established support. It's really tough to say, oh yeah, this is the established support when it really hasn't held a level. I mean, it tried to hold the 30s level, and look, the floor just opened up, and now we're down to 19. But overall, guys, this is one of those companies that I've been talking about and saying I believe in their technology. That seeing them coming out with their products and whatnot. I see them being a potential competitor in this market, and taking some market share up from big boys like Tesla. Obviously not a substantial amount like Tesla has, but just they have a premium product, and I mean, overall, I think as the years go by and the product is proven, and they are marketing it in the right direction, I see this company being a solid contender in the EV space. So keep an eye on Rivian, guys. We're at that 2460 60s level right now in post market, and it's really nice to see it jump off of those lows, even though it was bad earnings. I don't know. Market tends to do interesting things. Moving on over, we're going to be talking about my 3 current holdings right now. DraftKings. Very frustrated this morning seeing the market as it did take it all the way down to new lows. It did concern me a bit because this market is unpredictable. It could have continued even lower. So I ended up taking a sum out around this level just to protect my ass. That was solely what it was, because I saw so much weakness. Now, it's better just to hodl, like hodl, stick to your plan and whatnot. But I just wanted to protect my ass. I took some money out in that spike in the mid tens area, but I am holding the rest of my position. So very optimistic here. We're in the 1160 range. Remember, guys, this had a very solid earnings. Revenue beat was absolutely phenomenal. If we find where that exactly was, I can show you guys like I've showed you already. Let me zoom out. Here we are on the 6th. If you guys take a look at that revenue beat, look at that revenue beat and earnings per share beat. And this is on the 6th, guys. I mean, it's unreal, right? So I initially started making my entry, like I told you guys, in the high 13s, mid 13s, low 13s, 12s, and then low 12s. Ended up having my average right around the 1350, 1340, 1330 range, and it just continued to the downside. And it's a very frustrating thing to see, with especially with a company that's expanding as much as it is, and a company that has so much potential and is continuing to grow. There's no way to deny that fact. It's going to continue to expand and grow. And like I told you guys about that meeting on June 6th regarding sports betting here in California, whether it's going to be legalized or not, that's going to be huge for DraftKings. So we have to keep an eye on that date, June 6th, and just in general, I mean, this company has a lot more room to the upside to go. And not saying it just because I own it, I'm saying it because I'm just being realistic, right? I mean, if we continue to see a bullish uptrend to the upside, I see this heading to $15. $15 is my first price target here. I want to see it break through that level and just blast off. But that's if market conditions are going to allow that to happen. Or if there's some type of news. Maybe they have an acquisition. Maybe there's something like that. So keep DraftKings on watch, guys. A lot to come here, in my honest opinion. Moving on over to Shift Technology, one I have been talking about not too often. I have talked about it a few times. Very weak volume, but today, after hours, there was news on an acquisition deal. I don't know too much information on that. I did read up on it for a second, but massive acquisition, and I am in at a $1.13 average, which is absurd to me. I never thought Shift Technologies was going to get to this low. Let's take a look at earnings, which was yesterday. Revenue a beat, and earnings per share is literally break even. So in terms of the financial health of the company, I see them still being a big contender in the used vehicle space. There's a huge market for used vehicles, and for Shift, I'm not living off of the hope. Oh, like they're gonna get acquired. There's gonna be some type of buyout here. I think Shift will find will find a beat, head back to that $2 range. I think today, very very limited volume. I mean, the volume is just it obviously isn't outstanding. We do want to see some volume roll in heading into tomorrow, considering there was an acquisition deal that was announced today after hours, and it does look very promising. So I am holding this position. It's a very small position, and I'm gonna break it all down for you guys after I talk about my last play right here. But I mean, guys, there's a lot of room to the upside here. I've been following this company ever since it was $8-9, and to see it at these lows it sucks. Honestly, it really does. But there's obviously a reason for it. I know that this company is majority owned by institutions, and I'm sure obviously big investors are involved as well. And that does have a dictating factor in this. So just keep that in mind. But I really do think Shift Technology is heading to that $152 range very soon. Keep it on watch, guys. Now, last but not least, let's hop into Verb. This purely is a reversal penny play that I have done. I've done a bit of research on FinViz, like I told you guys about the other day. FinViz is a very good website to go on to see a company's financials and a whole lot more. See the average volume, the RSI, everything, institutional ownership, and overall they have very solid growth quarter over quarter, and that's something that I look at because we want to talk about the now. We don't want to look too far in the past of company successes. We want to talk about the now. So Verb reaching these levels. I mean, like I said before, guys, levels like this, I never imagined. Like I didn't imagine in a lot of plays, right? But it's becoming a reality, and there's gonna come a point where you have to say to yourself, is this should I just get my feet wet? Like, just get your feet wet, buy a small position, slowly expand on it as the market, as the market, uh, whether it's, to the upside or to the downside, whatever's happening in the market should base what you're going to do in terms of your positions, right? I mean, as long as we have market strength, like obviously this is pretty rhetorical, we're going to see upside in a play like this too. And considering that it is a penny play, it does need substantial more volume to get it moving. I forgot how many. I forget how many shares outstanding this company does have, but purely the fact that they have, there was some news, I believe, a couple days ago or something like that, regarding a partnership. Um, but in general, my first price target here is going to be 50 cents. I see a reversal happening. I see a reversal happening quick. I've seen a lot of penny plays like this um, get beat down to these levels that they've never seen before, and I mean, it just screams opportunity to me. So one man's trash is another man's gold, right? So I think that's a good way to explain what this is to me. Um, so let's just keep an eye on this price action. I'm gonna be holding my position here and swinging it to the upside. Let's see what kind of move it can make in the coming days. Earnings is going to be on the 16th. It looks like the estimate for revenue a touch over 3 million. Estimate for earnings per share minus 6 cents. We'll see how that goes, guys. We still have quite some time before then, tomorrow, and then obviously it's going to be on Monday. So keep Verb on watch, guys. And then, as always, guys, if you're not following my StockTwits, make sure to shoot a follow for more live updates and opinions. I'm trying to update you guys as much as I can throughout the hectic trading days, in the midst of everything. So just any type of idea, opinion, and I try to give you guys everything I've got. So I try to touch up in a lot of different areas. We got some penny plays here. We got obviously oil plays here. We got the large caps like DraftKings, Neo, Rivian. I try to talk about everything for you guys. I just try to be very versatile. I talk about the ETFs as well. It's not like I'm trying to do too much, but I am just trying to open your guys' minds to different avenues to implement into your trading strategy. So make sure you're following my StockTwits. And I did want to talk about a challenge that I am doing right now. So right here in my Webull, I am doing a challenge of $3,000, and my goal within the next month to 2 months is going to be 6,000. So my goal here is to double within the next month. Let's just keep it at a month. I'm trying to double this in a month, get it to 6,000, and let's see how things go. In this account right now, I'm holding VERB. That is my holding here. Moving on over to Robinhood, I have $1,000 here that I am holding specifically in Shift Technologies. Now I want to see this get to the $2,000-3,000 range within the next month as well. So a little challenge for myself on the side. I just my primary account is in TD Ameritrade, uh, trading obviously mainly large cap stocks. But for these ones, I want to dabble more into the mid to low cap companies, penny stocks and whatnot, and I really want to grow these up and take advantage of all this market volatility right now, guys. So taking a look back on the market, still in green territory. That's a very good sign. I want to see a continued move to the upside. And obviously, don't we all? Except for you bears. Want to burn you bears alive. Just kidding. You guys are very smart, obviously, because there's a lot of money to be made to the short side. But let's see if things are looking up heading into tomorrow. Um, if you guys enjoy this content, make sure to follow or subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with family, friends, whoever you think would be interested in something like this, because I do it all for you guys. I make no monetary gain off of this. This is purely because I also want to help build my following up and show that I do talk about legitimate analysis in the stock market and give you guys good opportunities in place, and that's really all I care about. So I try to be as transparent as possible. My current 3 holdings are DraftKings, Shift Technologies, and VERB. Also did talk about the SPY, UVXY, KOLD, Drip, RIVN. Many other plays could have been discussed, but these are the main ones that I like to recap on and focus on. And then, like I said, those 3 holdings at the end, and then my challenges in Webull and Robinhood. And we'll see how things goes, and see how things go in the coming days, and update you guys on the progress on those accounts. So, guys, really hope you had a profitable day today. It was very frustrating, but for myself, but I think at the end of the day, as long as we're heads are held high and we remain confident, and we stick to our plans, that's all that matters at the end of the day, guys. So let's see what happens. Let's hopefully maintain this bullish uptrend heading into tomorrow. I will see you guys then. Peace.